Shalom,
Shalom.
André, Jill.
Good morning.
Good evening, Eti.
How are you this morning?
I'm happy. It's a beautiful day here in Brazil, and I'm glad to hear you and hear Jill and André. So I'm happy to be here, Eti.
Thank you so much. And do you have an access to the whiteboard? Jill, Fernando, do you see the whiteboard?
It's connecting here, Eti.
It's connecting. And Jill, do you see by chance the whiteboard? And Charles is here. Good afternoon, Charles. And Jill, your microphone is open.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning, Jill. How are you this morning?
I'm great. How are you all doing?
We're fine.
And
And
I have my
Charles,
whiteboard open as well.
yes, Jill.
I said I have my whiteboard open, yes.
Thank you. We saw to open with your statement yesterday. It's a very good idea. So I opened the whiteboard with your ideas that you mentioned yesterday. And before we dive into them, I would like to greet Charles for good afternoon. I hope you can hear us as well. And I hope you could have access to the whiteboard. Jill, you remembered yesterday that you were mentioning that the wine, it has a color of burgundy or purple. Do you remember this at the
Yes,
beginning of the conversation?
yes.
And I would like to deal with those two aspects, but to open them in a broad way. Just a moment. I would like to write the name of the tetragrammaton here on the board. One second. And I would like to move between those ideas. Yod. Maybe I will make it a bit with a different color and a thicker pen like this. The four letters of the tetragrammaton here. When yesterday we mentioned that Malchut, kingdom, is here. Malchut, kingdom is here. And usually is associated with red or wine, yain, or 70. Do we understand why Malchut is associated with 70? Or shall I
Yes, because it's the seventh sphere.
seven sphere? And here
It's
I will,
because it's the
ye-
seventh sphere.
yes. And here I will make a broader um, sketch and will explain why the kingdom is associated with the 70. Here we have again, make the three upper spheres, three lowers, and here the Malchut. In general, we have seven sphere. Again, I write it in detail. The Hey Malchut is here. This is the seventh. If this is the day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, and the day 7 is associated with the heavenly kingdom with wine. Yeah. And 7 double 10 is also wine. Here is 70. This is simple. Do we understand this concept?
Yes.
Yes. And sometimes we find, like Jill mentioned yesterday, sometimes we find that the heavenly kingdom is associated with wine or with red or with purple. Here, I will just move the whiteboard and we could see the purple snail. I will enlarge a bit this. This snail is, how do you say, living in our area, in the Mediterranean area. And from this purple or blue snail, uh, people used to make red color, purple color, or blue color to color clothes in ancient times, and usually kings could how do you say could afford paying for coloring their clothes. So purple from purple, it depends what comes from what, but we hear that the garment of kings used to be named porphyron, porphyron, and this is associated also with purple. The garment of a king, porphyron, and purple. So the color of the kingdom is purple. Sometimes we see in movies like a deep red or purple color, and those color are associated with the heavenly kingdom. This is in terms of color. But also, there is an animal which is associated with the heavenly kingdom. And which animal is it? I would like to open a bit and mention the prophecy of Ezekiel. In the prophecy of Ezekiel, we have four animals. Do you remember their names? In the prophecy of Ezekiel, we have,
Yes.
yes,
Cow.
yes,
And
Charles, can you raise your voice a bit?
It's a cow. Cow or
You mean,
ox.
oh, sure, yes, sure, yes, ox. And what else? Do you remember?
eagle, and
Eagle,
human.
yes, and
Lion.
chair, lion, very good. Lion, Aryeh, Aryeh in wisdom, lion in wisdom, sure, bull or ox. How do we, bull, what is the difference? Because in Hebrew, I will write a Hebrew because it has a meaning. So I would not use the English because the English makes a distinction between two kinds of bulls. In Hebrew, it's shor, shor, from yashar, straight, yashar, beginning. And here we have nesher, eagle, and the last one, the hay, is Adam, human. But please pay attention. The yod that we see here, the lion that appears in wisdom, you see this letter yod, is the yod that we see here in the foot of the hay that represent Adam. One second. I don't have one second. The foot of the hay, the foot of wisdom, is operating as heavenly kingdom in the face of Adam. But at the moment, I don't have a whiteboard. Do you have a whiteboard? Do you see something at the moment?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because I don't have. Questions so far?